Well, it's been a long time since I last updated my Warden build. I mean, we're talking about Morrowind launch here. So, I thought it was about time to give you all the most brutal Warden build that has been in the works for quite some time. And it's finally here. I introduce to you all, well, the brutal Warden build. This is a build meant to specifically and brutally murder your enemies in PvP with an insane amount of burst damage and huge amounts of pressure. So, let's stop wasting your time like I already did with the delay of this build coming out and get to the details, shall we? First off, Dark Elf race with the Warrior Mundus Stone. Why Dark Elf? Because of that beautiful flame resistance that you're really gonna need on this build. Then make sure that you've got either Dubious Camoran Throne or Artaeum Takeaway Broth as your food, Essence of Weapon Power Potions, and 64 attribute points jammed into stamina. You'll want all passives unlocked in your Warden trees, of course, then your two-handed, dual wield, and bow tree passives, all of the medium armor passives, and then the first 3 heavy armor passives. All vampire passives, Slayer, Banish the Wicked, and Skilled Tracker under Fighters Guild, Undaunted Metal under Undaunted, all Alliance War passives, and then finally Combat Medic and Battle Resurrection under Support. Now to the sets. With this build, the main focus was to have extreme burst damage, and to do that, well, you need to make sure that your enemy develops social anxiety from the pressure you put on them, and you've got the power to practically disintegrate the nerd. With that being said, Sentience. With but one simple roll dodge, it will increase your weapon damage and critical for 5 seconds. The next set is your Sustain, the one that people do not shut up about.
Kevduit, use Bone Pirate, you'll be better.
Hey Kevduit, why not use Bone Pirate? Your Stanblade needs it. Kevduit, I won't subscribe unless you use Bone Pirate. So here you go. Bone Pirate is essential on this build for you to continuously apply disgusting pressure on your enemy. Bone Pirate adds a lot of maximum stamina, stamina recovery, and when you have a drink buff active, your maximum stamina and recovery is increased by more than should be legal. Alright, I'm just gonna take a drink of this to get my buff. FBI, open up! Finally, we've got to make a choice. Obviously, you want monster pieces, but I'm gonna leave this decision up to you. Either you want to go 2 pieces of Bloodspawn to get that gorgeous stamina recovery and ultimate gain for spamming your Dawnbreaker, or you'll want to go more damage focused with putting on 1 piece of Demeas for both Magicka and stamina increase, and then 1 piece of either Molokina, Balorgs, or Veladrith for that weapon damage boost. So on your armor, you're going to want 2 pieces of Divines, 2 pieces of Infused, and 3 pieces of Impenetrable, with 5 maximum stamina glyphs and then 2 health glyphs. For jewelry, you're gonna want 2 pieces of Infused with the weapon damage trait on it, and then 1 bloodthirsty ring with stamina recovery on it. For weapons, I want to give you all a choice. I know that for a lot of people, choosing your weapon is like,
Am I Team Two-Hander or Team Dual Wield? Team Jacob or Team Edward?
So I made this build viable for both. Either way, you'll want a 2-handed weapon, and I'd prefer Maul or 2 swords. For the 2-hander, go Nirnhoned with a weapon damage enchant, or for the dual wield, have 1 Nirnhoned with a weapon damage glyph, and the other infused with Oblivion damage. And finally, for the forgotten weapon, the bow, you'll either want it to be Nirnhoned or infused with a poison damage glyph. Alright, now that you've slapped some slabs of armor onto your Warden, the next thing you want is a Vampire Bite. I know, scary fire damage. Well, as a Dark Elf, you won't really need to be as afraid, plus you get the fantastic buffs of recovery, damage resistance, and finally, if you choose to be a full-on tier 4 Twilight fanboy, the sneak perks. Now your Warden abilities are dependent on your weapon playstyle, besides your bow. For your 2-hander, you'll want to use the abilities Vigor, Stampede, Subterranean Assault, Reverse Slice, Forward Momentum, and Flawless Dawnbreaker is your ultimate. If you choose to spin to win, Vigor, Subterranean Assault, Rending Slashes, Steel Tornado, Deadly Cloak, and finally, once again, Flawless Dawnbreaker. For your bow bar, you'll want Soothing Spores, Poison Injection, Ice Fortress, Bullnetch, Bird of Prey, and Ballista as your ultimate.
Kevduit, why Ballista as an ultimate? Why not Flawless or Secluded Grove?
Well, Question Elf, the embodiment of pure and utter stupidity to keep pressure. So, in playing this build, you'll want to focus on having a constant uptime of your buffs, so Ice Fortress, Bullnetch, and Birds of Prey. Those are gonna be crucial for you in combat. Your bow bar is mostly just for buffing up, popping enemies with a poison injection if their health is failing on them, and the occasional soothing spores if you or an ally is seriously lacking health. But your other bar, this is where the fun begins. On your two-handed bar, it's a non-stop slam of sub-assault on your enemies combined with quick gap closes using Stampede and spamming of Reverse Slice. With this bar, you'll play up close and personal, never giving your enemy a break. Always make sure that forward momentum is up and healing, and you're literally going to be a moving brick wall. On your dual wield bar, you need to play a tad more defensively, just making sure they don't hammer down your health due to you not having forward momentum. But on the upside, you have Blade Cloak, giving you major evasion and dealing AoE damage, combined with that beautiful rending slashes. Then, the Salt Machine itself, causing anyone who doesn't play like this to take their pure anger to the internet, begging for sympathy. But they shall get none! Steel Tornado! But there you have it, a beautiful Stamina Warden PvP build, built to make your enemies so utterly decimated that they feel like...